Hold up. It's on now.
All right.
Can you hear it?
Nani? Nani? Yeah, we're live.
Okay. But like, what's this do? Alright, we're good. We calling. Oh, it's working. It's working. Look at the stream. Look at this right here. Look at the stream. It's fixed itself. Incredible. Let's actually stick this one. I doubt anyone's ever going to tune into this. Cool. You're live.
All right. I think we're good to go. So, welcome to the district model overview. My name is Christine. As I said, I'm a mentor on 125. I'm also a volunteer for Any First. I'm going to be stretching myself thin over here. This is me. Stacey Gray, who's the first senior mentor for Connecticut, also developed this presentation with me last year. So she wasn't able to make it today, but she helped create this presentation. All right, we're good. All right, so New England First, we are one of the lucky regions to be in a district model. A district model means that for your registration fee, you get 2 events automatically. So that's pretty awesome. That's 2 plays. That typically means about 11 to 12 qualification matches per event, which is really great. And then you get to accumulate points throughout your trip through those 2 district events. So we have over 200 teams this year, and we're likely going to be getting more in New Hampshire with the new rookie grants through the state, which is pretty awesome. And then we have 1 district championships, which will be hosted in Boston this year. So throughout your time in your 2 district events, you're going to be accumulating points in different ways to try to qualify in the top chunk of about 62 teams. 64. So around that number. So the top 64 teams will move on to our New England District Championships. And then typically the top 35 to 40 teams will move on to the World Championship. So that is our model overview. Here are our district events this year. The first one actually got changed to Wyndham High School. So this is the overview of our district events. So we're lucky that we have a lot, and we're going to continue to grow in the next few years as our numbers and teams grow. How many of you know at least one of your events that you're going to this year? Where are you guys going?
We got in on Reading and Revere.
Awesome. So we'll be seeing you at both of those. Yeah.
North Shore.
North Shore, nice. North Shore.
You guys are from Reading? Yeah.
Which one? Right, nice. So these are all pretty well established. We're lucky that we're able to kind of go back to these venues each year. We have great relationships with a lot of the universities that we host events at, and the high schools as well. So we're hoping that we can expand more that way. We can have more teams and then more teams that get to do a 3rd play. If you do 3 events, the first 2 you do are the only ones that count. So the Neutrons typically do 3 events. However, it doesn't matter which order we register for them. It's the 2 events that we attend first that are going to be counting towards our points that we're accumulating. So beginning of the season, we are lucky that we have remote kickoffs in New England. Some people are lucky enough to go right up to New Hampshire to see the actual field, but we have a lot of teams that are hosting remote kickoffs at high schools and universities. So these remote kickoffs, you get to pick up your kit of parts, you get to watch the reveal with a lot of other teams, and you get to kind of interact with some of the game elements that the teams that are hosting it typically make. It's a great way to kind of see the game with other people, and it's also a great opportunity to, like I said, interact with some of the game pieces that, you know, in a video may look completely different than they end up being in real life. So, but if you do have the opportunity to go up to Manchester, it is your kind of like best bet to get a really good understanding of the field and the game. Or if you know somebody up there, make them take measurements and text you those measurements.
So the good thing about Manchester is it will be a full field setup on site, and members of the, not all of them, but members of the game design committee will be there available for Q&A as well. If you want to do a split squad, send half of your kids here to kick off here in Northeastern and another handful up to Manchester. That's a good model to follow as well. You get the networking with the other teams in the area, as well as the live Q&A with the GDC up there. So.
Yeah.
Are there any other locations that have a full field set up?
No.
New Hampshire?
Nope.
Not in New England. I think Michigan does one.
I don't know.
I don't know, but no,
Probably
probably.
proximity wise.
No, unfortunately, no. All right, so our 11 district events, we talked about these earlier. So you, like I said, you only earn points at your first 2 events, and we'll get into how we're going to earn points in a moment. But this has been kind of a staple for all of our district events. Connecticut, we've added Fairfield this year, which is pretty far south, and I think that's the only new one. New Hampshire will also have University of New Hampshire, since it's not our district championships anymore. We're back at Wyndham.
Bedford became
Nothing.
yeah.
So that's old information.
Granite State, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Wyndham and Granite State, and Bedford moved to UNH.
Right. So the point system in our own district was created by First Headquarters. These are different ways that you accumulate points: by winning a match. So if you win a match, you get a few points. By getting picked in the elimination round. So for those of you who are new, is there anybody that's brand new? Okay. So the way that a first event works, or a district event, is you show up, you get 1 or 2 practice matches to make sure that your robot's connecting to the field. You get to kind of make sure that your robot's working. And then after that, you're randomly assigned with different teams in an alliance. Typically, it's 3 versus 3. You're randomly assigned with those teams, and you get 12 matches. In those 12 matches, you accumulate kind of ranking points for the game. So last year, by getting 4 rotors or hitting the fuel KPA, you were accumulating different ranking points. So after your 12 qualification matches, you are ranked within the 30 to 40 teams that are at your district event. The top 8 get to choose alliance partners to move on to the elimination rounds. So if you're an alliance captain in the top 8, you're going to be receiving a set amount of points for being within the top 8. I have a breakdown of that a little further on. Yep. If you are chosen by one of those top 8 teams, you also get a few extra bonus points that go towards your district ranking. As a rookie, you get bonus points. You get about 8 points for your district ranking, and second-year teams also. And winning awards will get you points as well. So after the alliance selection happens, those 8 alliances move on to the elimination rounds. It's basically a bracket system: semifinals, quarterfinals, finals, and then the winners get basically the most amount of points out of that bracket.
The point breakdown for the elimination rounds is you get 5 points for a win, but you only get the points for that win if you move on. So in other words, quarterfinals is the best 2 out of 3. If you win the quarterfinals, you get your 10 points and you move on into the semis. Same thing in the semis. If you win the 2 matches to move into the finals, you get the 10 points. If you don't win anything in the semis, you get 0. Even if you won 1 match, you don't get those points for the win in the semis. Same thing with the finals. You get 10 points for the finals.
Yeah. Right. So your 2 district events, if you qualify for district championships, the points at district championships will combine with your already 2 events worth of points. And then your total season points will rank you within our district to see if you make it to the World Championship.
The thing with district champs is it's the same point structure as a regular district event, except it's ×3. So they do weight a little bit, weight a lot heavily, any points going into the to qualify for Worlds. And then we'll take do you have a chart with the winners in the different award?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not in this one.
Okay.
Well, actually, yeah, there's a breakdown.
Okay, so you have team. They changed it. Is 10 and 5 for team H?
It was.
It was, okay. It's not always on, but that's all right. So qualification matches, 2 points for a win, 1 for a tie, 0 for a loss. Alliance captains, this is the certain team. This is where you get picked, ranked 1 to 8, racked and stacked to 8. The top qualifying team, number 1, gets 16 points. Okay, right here. The second team, number 2 alliance captain, gets 17 minus 2 is 15. The first team that gets picked outside of the top 8 gets 17 minus 9 for points, and then it goes all the way down to the last team that gets picked to move on into the eliminations gets, I think, it's 1 point. Okay, going into the finals. That's where a lot of the points are picked up. So you want to be, the competition part of this is you want to be in the top 8 or picked right off, the 9th. Draft order, they go 1 through 12, 1 through 8, and then 8 picks again and then goes back up. So it is a serpentine down and back up.
And then some of our big awards that you can gain points through, the Chairman's Award, Engineering Inspiration, Rookie All-Star, and then any other award is 5 points.
Right.
Yeah. Any questions so far? There's a lot of information.
The point system is available on the First Inspires website.
And it can change year to year depending on the scoring of the game. It was really different in 2015. It's gotten a little more consistent. Yeah, I don't either. It was some insane math, but
Brando did, that's enough.
I didn't quite understand alliance captains and draft order acceptance.
it's confusing in,
Look at it this way. If you have all 40 teams are racked and stacked, 1 through 8 based on win-loss record.
Okay.
Okay. Number 1 alliance through and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Those are the alliance captains moving into the elimination rounds. You pick those 8 teams, get to pick 2 more teams to join them to form an alliance, a 3-team alliance, and that alliance stays together through the elimination rounds.
Yeah.
So team 1, okay, alliance captain number 1 gets to pick anybody from 2 to 40. Okay, 2 gets to pick anybody, from 3 to 40, all the way down. You get down to 8. Okay, 8 makes their selection. They make a second selection, and then 7 picks their second selection. 6 picks their second selection.
the
And
serpentine
all the way back
draft
up. So
is
it's down and back
designed
up.
to kind of even the playing field when it comes to eliminations. Otherwise, it would be, 1 through 8, and then number 1 would again get the best pick out of the whole thing. So the serpentine draft allows for things to kind of even out a little bit. Points wise, it is confusing on paper, but the number 1 ranked team will get 17 points.
16.
16?
17 minus the position.
Oh yeah. Why would they just say that then? So then you just subtract from there on.
So you're either in the alliance captains group or the draft order.
Exactly,
Yes.
yeah. Or you're not in either.
And we're not even going to get into what happens when number 1 alliance picks number 4 to join them.
Nope.
We're not even going to get into it. I'll tell you that next week.
So team age, these are points that you get. It may have changed to 8. Last year it was 10, I believe.
8 is what we sent up to headquarters, but that's all right.
Okay.
That's good.
So qualification matches, a win is 2, a tie is 1, a loss is 0. So each match that you do, your 12 qualification matches, you'll be either gaining 2 points or 1 point, or nothing. Elimination matches are worth more. So if you win and you move on, then you gain the points that you earned from that win. Any questions about this so far? So we just went over draft selection. We'll skip that. So the awards, at each event, there's, how many awards do we have total?
I don't know, 38. That seems something.
There's a good amount of awards. So there's rookie awards specifically that can only be awarded to rookie teams.
Rookie All-Star, top rookie seed. The highest ranked rookie at the end of the qualification rounds gets top rookie seed. That's worth 5 points. Rookie All-Star is if there is, 2 or more rookie teams in any one event, then, okay, which rookie team more closely emulates a veteran team. In other words, do they have their act together? Are they doing the right things? So that, the up and comers, the ones to look out for next year.
And we'll get into detail about the award descriptions in
Yep.
the afternoon, but there are technical awards that are robot specific, and then there are team-based awards, which are not necessarily your robot.
Technical quality award, there's the engineering excellence, the non-tech, like things like team spirit, Bart Kamen, drawing a blank.
Wow. Yep.
I know. Yeah,
Safety
safety award,
Yep.
okay.
Imagery.
Imagery, Bart Kamen Imagery Award. And feel free to, honey, if you see us scrambling,
Yep.
jump in.
So
Yeah, thanks.
there are some awards that you really want to keep an eye out for that a lot of teams are kind of bidding for. The District Chairman's Award is an automatic bid for your team and your robot to go to District Champs. So at any district event, the one team that wins Chairman's will automatically be put in the pool for District Champs. Engineering Inspiration will qualify the team only for the event. So they still have to work to make sure that their robot will make it to District Champs. The teams that only qualify with just their team will go and do a presentation to the judges, but they won't compete with their robot at the event unless they get enough points.
Yeah. EI winners at the district level have to get enough points for the robot to get there. On the field points.
So Rookie All-Star as well, that will qualify the team, but the robot,
That's the 8 points I was thinking of.
yes.
Rookie All-Star.
So that will qualify your team, but it won't qualify your robot.
Again, well, you get enough points to go, then you will.
Do you want to talk about district championships?
District champs, top 60 in the district after 2 events. Like Christine said earlier, even if you register for 3, only the first 2 count towards district champs. Okay, that's where you accumulate your points. What that does is that levels the playing field for everybody. So you have a really rich team and a really big team, and they're all over the place, and they sign up for 5 events in 6 weeks, and they use their last 2 events as their qualifying, where they're going to get their points. They get 3 weeks of practice. No, that's not the way this works. Okay, so we chose that only the first 2 events. The third one, if you want to go, great, awesome. Come up with the other $1,000, and you can play. The third plays can be used as a practice event going into district champs. Because if you're good enough to qualify for district champs, if you get 105 points, then you got a pretty good shot of hitting district champs. Actually, if you get like 80 points, you got a pretty good shot of getting.
Yeah. So throughout the season, on the first website, there will be a ranking that will automatically update after each weekend of the events, and it will show where teams are. So you'll start to figure out after about week 3 where your team is kind of on and where the bubble is for teams that are going to be cut off from district champs. However, teams that qualify sometimes will not go, whether it's because they can't afford it. Some teams are automatically qualified for the World Championship already for a number of reasons. So some of them will decline, and it will make spots. So if you see that your team's kind of on the bubble, you should be preparing to go if you want to go, because teams will kind of decline their offers to district champs. So, and at each district event, so there's an award called the Dean's List Award, where the mentors get to nominate 2 students to be interviewed at the district events for the Dean's List Award, which is basically an outstanding student on your team and in your community, basically. So you write an essay submission for them. The judges read the submission, and then they interview your students for about 5 to 7 minutes at an event. They will choose, I think it's 2 students per event.
2 per event. And then I forget how many move on.
It's a lot. I think it's 8.
I think I don't know. Yeah, I think
A
it's
small
5.
pool from that larger
small
pool.
pool from New England, then they move on to Worlds, and then they compete against the other Dean's List finalists.
Yep.
And then anything that we're saying is coming strictly from memory. Let me caveat that first. There's a lot, there's a lot that we know, but sometimes it's like it's stuck someplace. Anything that you hear today, whether it be in this room or in one of the technical rooms, is documented in the manual.
Yep.
Okay, any of the awards, any of the pneumatic stuff, any of the control system, anything technical or non-tech that Christine or I tell you here is documented in the manual. So that's the Bible. We have a thing in first RTFM. Okay, read the first manual. So you'll see some of the forums. Somebody will ask a question. It's like RTFM. It's in the manual. So read the book first, and then come up and ask us.
And another award that's really big, the Woody Flowers Award. So the students get to nominate one mentor that is outstanding in their team. There is only one Woody Flowers Award winner chosen out of our entire district of over 200 teams, and that is awarded at district championships. You will not find out who that winner is until district championships. So sometimes there's an unfortunate case where the team may not have qualified for district champs, but their mentor still can win that award. Neither of these awards count for points towards your team. Same with the district can award Volunteer of the Year to one volunteer at each district event. It does not, even if the person's on a team, it does not count for points toward that team at all.
Is it just a recognition for that individual?
So we talked about this a little bit. So these are the auto bids to the championship. So at district championships, of the 11 Chairman's Award winners, so one from each district event, 4 will move on. I don't know if that number is going to change this year. I think it's going to stay the same. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, I don't know. I haven't been part of that conversation.
I haven't heard any of it. Engineering Inspiration, we have 2 teams that represent New England. They win, they will automatically move on to the World Championship regardless of their total points for the season.
Whether or not their robot competed at the district champs.
But their robot will go to championship. That's the difference. Rookie All-Star, we send 2 teams. Our district championship event winners, so the people that win the overall competition, it's typically 3 teams. Sometimes it's 4 if there's a backup robot thrown in there. And then our Dean's List qualifiers, those students will automatically be entered into the pool of World Championship winners. That does not qualify their team, however. Typically, students that are on teams that don't qualify for the World Championships will join another team that is going to championship.
They'll send the kids out with them.
Yeah.
When you say teams, that means robot and teams.
Yes. The only one where it's not going to be the robot team is the Dean's List winner and the Woody Flowers Award winner as well, actually.
So any of the Rookie All-Star Chairman's EI, even like an EI, if you don't qualify the robot for district champs, but you win one of the 4 spots, one of the 2 spots, then your robot and team get to go to the Worlds.
So Dana was saying before that the points at district championships are tripled, right?
Yes, times 3.
So after you've gone through all of your matches, so wins, ties, losses, and the elimination rounds, we will rank our districts again. And then the top, I think it was about 36 to 38 last year.
I think it was 36 teams. The ones that move on, okay, are you winners? Okay, those 3 teams. Your 4 Chairman's Award winners, so that's 7. Your 2 EI winners, that's 9. Your 2 Rookie All-Star winners, that's 11, right? And then Hall of Fame and Original and Sustaining, of which we have, I think, 6 in New England. That's 17. And then those 17 teams get bids to World Championships. And then from 17 to 36 is all based on points. Hall of Fame is National Chairman's Award winners. We have, how many we got?
2.
We have 2, Buzz
And
and Technotix, 236. No.
that doesn't count towards our automatic
But-
or
No, it doesn't. You're right, it doesn't. So anyway, but my point is, you get the automatic bids, and then you got, the rest are all on points moving forward.
yeah, so points really count. So awards used to just be something that was, oh, it's nice if we get one, it's cool to be recognized. However, in the district model, it's really important that you're going for them because those are extra points that are kind of like a limited quantity. And obviously wins and ties are really important too, but later on in the day, if you can make it to the award seminar, I would highly suggest it if it's something that your team is capable of, but just hasn't really put any thought into. It's definitely more valuable now that we're in the district model.
It just as a historical thing, it's kind of a fun thing to know. And Christine's I gotta ask, listen, original and sustaining, there is 8 teams in the whole program that have been in for us since year 1. In New England, we have 126 out of Clinton, who was actually the first world championship winners. They're original sustaining. WPI 190, 155 out of New Hampshire. And who's the other one? I think we got 4, one more.
I think that's it.
I think that's it?
Yep.
So those are three, at least the 3. I could be wrong, but yeah, at least those 3. They've been in the game since the beginning. They get an automatic bid because they're original and sustaining.
Yep. So outside of our district event, you can compete outside of our New England district. Some teams choose to go to regional events. At a regional event, a district team can win awards. They cannot win the Chairman's Award or Engineering Inspiration or Rookie All-Star.
Right.
They can win any technical or non-technical award. They can win the event. If they win the event, they automatically get to go to championship. So the regional model is different from the district model. Regional teams will pay $4,000 to go to one event and get about 8 qualification matches. After those 8 qualification matches, they go through the same thing. They go through the alliance selection and the elimination rounds. However, if you're a rookie team in a regional, like regional area rather than district, you typically only get to play your 8 matches. Maybe you get to go to the elimination rounds, and then your season's over. Right. So the district model is really beneficial for young teams, rookie teams, teams that otherwise would only be playing one event. Our team went to the Arizona North Regional 2 years ago, and it was pretty cool. They had the pit set up, veteran team, rookie team, veteran team, rookie team. So we were sandwiched between 2 rookies. And at the end of their last qualification match, after battling through a lot of robot issues, the robot wasn't working. After their 8 matches, I remember hearing the teachers say, all right, that's it. Like, season's over. And this was week 1 of competitions. And in my head, I was like, we have a whole season ahead of us. We have 2 district events to go to and possibly the district championship. So the district model, we're really lucky that we're in one. But if teams travel outside of our district to, say, the Mid-Atlantic region district, you can play there, you can win awards, you can win the event, but none of the points come home with you. New England district points stay within New England district points. Same with Michigan, Peachtree. There's a lot of different district events that you can play at, but you're not going to be taking any of the points home with you when you travel there.
One of the things that we did a number of years ago was we had 2 districts that were operating, Michigan and the state of Michigan and MA, which is Mid-Atlantic. They had been in the district model for a few years. New England, we were asked, and Pacific Northwest, which is Washington and Oregon, were asked to come up and join into the district model because we had the concentration of teams. So Michigan had 1 set of points, and then Ma had another points model that they were operating off of. Okay, Mid-Atlantic was more favored towards the award side of things. Michigan was more favored to the on-field competition side of things. So myself and my son and Jess Boucher and Mike Sperber, the whole 20 of us sat down. Were you in that? No, you weren't in that room. Sat down and we hashed it out over a day, and then sent up the district model points up to New Hampshire. And they made a couple of tweaks and they rolled it out. So now everybody's on the same points model. Okay. But eventually, when there are more districts coming online, and there are this year in Texas and California, eventually you'll be able to have some cross-pollination and bring points back and forth. But that's still a few years in the future.
Yeah. All right. So here are some of our New England First resources. This presentation is on the Neutrons website. We're going to email out everybody that registered today the links to this. But obviously these links aren't really helpful right now. But our Twitter account is at AnyFirst. We have a Facebook page. Our website is anyfirst.org, and it lists off all of your regional directors, your senior mentors' contact information in case you need it. Our YouTube matches, or our YouTube page auto archives all of the matches from every district event. which is huge because if you wanted to, I don't know, send out an email blast to your school or your parents and I don't know, anybody saying like, look at this match that we were just in, you can do that. We also have a live stream of every district event. So if your family can't make it or if your team members can't make it, they can watch live each weekend. We post that on the Any First Facebook page and we have an Instagram as well. We might have a Snapchat this year. We will see. Because that seems to be one of the new social media things. This is our website. I'll pull it up.
Are we up to date on stuff now?
It's getting up to date.
Yeah.
So let's see,
Events, at
contact
least.
us. So you can contact your regional director by state. Dana's contact information is on there as well. Events. Facebook is great for the events because it has each of the chairs of each event is attached to the Facebook event. I know not everybody's on Facebook, but you don't need an account to at least see it. But if you have any questions about anything specific to your region, like your state, you can hop onto the Any First website and contact your regional director.
Is this a better resource than First Inspires?
It's definitely easier to navigate.
Okay.
For the local stuff.
Yeah.
A good way to navigate the firstinspires.org website, which I agree, I don't like it either. I never
There's a lot of great information there. It's just very hard to locate.
The best way to navigate firstinspires.org is to go to Google. Type in firstinspires.org : search term. Okay, senior mentor, Waterbury District, anything like that. firstinspires.org : and then you search term right in the Google search engine. It works great that way. The search engine on the website is.
Yeah.
You're right.
Any questions about anything that we've gone over? I know that was a lot of information. Anything?
This will be available.
Yep, this will be available online on the Neutrons website under resources, neutrons.com. And it is there. Cool. Awesome. What time is it? We went through that really
You get a
fast.
direct line into the information system anyway.
Cool. So we have about an hour before our next presentation.
Anything, I mean, I missed it when everybody when she asked how many newbies we got. Who else we got for newbies? You guys in the back row? You guys are all newbies? Rookies for this year? No?
It's an old team with a lot of.
What's that?
It's an old team with a lot of.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, which one? Okay.
There's a lot of information that I'm going to be going over as well, more so on team support and good ways to run your team, from the mentoring standpoint. There is a lot of help, not only through official channels, through myself and Steve that just walked in. Steve's our regional director. Go like this, Steve. Okay, he's my boss, or I'm his boss, whatever. We work well together. So the district model, versus the regional model is a much better system. There was a lot of pushback, a little bit of pushback in the beginning. But like Christy said, that the regional model, a lot of times, you were one and done. And you had put a lot of work into it, and then if you went belly up in the third match and you broke your robot in 5 pieces, and because you made it in the frame out of balsa wood, then you were done.
Is there going to be a rule review or a walkthrough of rules?
Yes. Let me check what time that seminar is. It's how to break down the game. It's a really,
That's later. Okay.
yep, it's
Yeah.
a really good seminar to go to.
You have the agenda? Can you put
Yeah,
the
I'm pulling it
agenda
up
up
right
here?
now. Your folder inception right now. Our Google Drive.
You got a bunch of guys here too from the force. 8. Downstairs doing. Okay,
You got all three.
okay, good.
Tracks, programs in the center. And so you're using the strategy.
And that's fine, because if you don't have the administrative part down, then, so you get to be the focal point. Okay, no, you can't do that. But one of the things that you might want to do, and I'm going to probably touch on it later too, is when you set up your team, have a lawyer, assign a kid or two to be the lawyers, to read the manual, to understand all the different rules and regulations of all the nuances of the awards, as well as, no, you can't use that particular motor, on the robot because it's not on the list. And we will have, there is part of the manual on the tech side. There is a list, and you can't, this is it.
Try to do one for rules and one for inspection and adherence to the parts.
Okay.
What's good, what isn't. Has to be super fastidious, highly detail-oriented, loves quality rules.
Yep.
Have to
Yep.
get those personalities.
And there will be, usually around week 3 is when we will release the inspection checklist. So that is available to all teams, which is the same checklist that we use, us inspectors, when we come around to your pits. One thing about Worlds that I forgot to mention, last year was the first year of 2 World Championships, one in Houston and one in St. Louis. This year, the St. Louis Worlds is moving to Detroit. So in case you hadn't figured that out yet, if you've been out of the loop, Detroit will be our World Championships that we go to.
We'll know in a couple of weeks how many teams we can send. It depends on how many teams are registered. Last year we sent 37 teams.
37,
And
that's
it'll
right.
probably be the same, if not more.
It could bump to 38 because we're gonna break the 200 barrier. In numbers of teams in New England.
So the breakdown of how to break down a game is going to be at 11 o'clock down in the room we were in to start this morning. I think that would be really beneficial for new teams to go to and veteran teams because it's, especially last year's game was a lot to digest. I'm sure this year will be just as exciting. So.
We're a little bit early. I said we're about
Really early.
We're a little bit over an hour early.
Can we get that into the other presentations?
Yeah,
You
definitely.
want to duck into one of the other
Yeah.
ones? Okay, that's fine too. Or I can kick off. No, I probably shouldn't kick that off because somebody else wants to come up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to duck into one of the other ones, that's fine. And then I'll kick off mine at 11 o'clock. Or you
Yeah.
can hang out here and just grill us.